100 of the greatest science fiction movies, man, of all time, as laid out and presented by me, your host, Seed, the person who does most of the things here on Paprika that you listen to. We're just talking about them one a day, first 100 days of the year. Science fiction movies, one of the best genres out there. One of the ones that just allows your imagination to go absolutely batshit crazy. And that's why I love it, man. Today we're talking about, this is going to have some people salty. Number 72 on the list. Now, yesterday was 73. We talked about Synchronic. Man, that's a good movie. You haven't checked out Synchronic? Make sure you do yourself all the favors and go back and check out Synchronic. It's some shit, man. Today, man, we're talking about 72 on our list, right? So, 72 on the list. ARQ. Good old ARQ. Directed by Tony Elliott, man. Two old friends living in a dystopic future become trapped in a mysterious time loop, one that may have something to do with an ongoing battle between an omnipotent corporation and a ragtag band of rebels. Now, here's the deal. This isn't sci-fi because of the dystopia future. I'm not a person who thinks dystopian future immediately equals science fiction. Like, I just don't buy into that. That's why, and spoilers, Mad Max Fury Road won't be found on this list because I don't think it's science fiction. Other than the dystopian future, Mad Max Fury Road is just completely, you can set it anytime. It's completely plausible. Society's collapsed, but that's not science fiction. If it is, we're living in science fiction, everybody. But getting back to ARQ, man, this is a Netflix joint. Okay, I don't think it's a Netflix original. I think it's just one that was distributed by Netflix, but you can watch it on the good old flicks there. I caught this movie on what's called Saturday Night Sci-Fi, something that you can find that hashtag on Twitter, where the hosts of Saturday Night Sci-Fi find. Usually it's a movie, but sometimes they'll do like two episodes of a TV show. Usually something that's around about 2 hours. And they all collectively press play at the same time, anyone who wants to participate, and they just kind of tweet about it as the movie goes on. You can follow those tweets using the Saturday Night Sci-Fi hashtag. That's how I came to this movie when I was able to, back before I had to work on Sundays, because they do these like Saturday night, late night. ARQ, man, is one of those ones that just got me. And a lot of people are just like, okay, it was just a cute little sci-fi movie. But I find myself returning back to ARQ many, many times. I've probably seen ARQ about 7 or 8 times over the course of the years. The last couple years, actually. And I just really dig the concept. I dig the fact that it's incredibly indie, incredibly low budget. It's it's one of those like one setting type movies. It just takes place in this dude's house of a machine that is keeping the same day on loop. And it's the events of that day that are fascinating. A man wakes up, people break into his house, burgle into his shit, knock him the fuck out, tie him up downstairs in his basement, and it just seems like it's a simple robbery. And his long lost, obviously former girlfriend is there with him. And, he's just trying to get them out safely. But at some point, something happens, and then it resets, and he wakes up again. And then he's like, well, what? And then the people break into his house, knock him the fuck out, take him down to his basement. And the more things progress, the more information that's doled out. And you find out that he might have accidentally created a machine that is looping this. The catch with it is that every couple of iterations, something happens where he gets killed by these robbers. And then that's what resets the loop. But every couple of resets, another person wakes up with knowledge of what's going on. Because every time he resets, he wakes up with full knowledge of what happened previously. But then when the bad guys start doing it too, then it becomes this cat and mouse game of, okay, last time he did this, so I'm going to counteract with this. But the last time I tried to counteract with this, he counteracted with this. And it becomes a great cat and mouse game of how they can stop each other, already knowing each other's future actions. And this is a really good, really quickly paced joint. Stephen Amell, or is it Robbie Amell? I don't know. They're the same guy, if you ask me. Arrow fans don't get mad. One of those Amell boys is the main star in this, and the woman whose name I can't think of off the top of my head, who plays Trish Walker, and Jessica Jones is the old lady of his, and it was got the background elements of, I stole this from the corporation because it was going to be misused, and we need it for our ragtag band rebels to beat the big corporation, and things aren't always as they seem. It's a good movie, man. If you haven't checked out Ark, make sure you do yourself a favor. Do it. And that's it, man. For, what was that? I think it was number 72 on the list, man. Good old Ark, ARQ. We will be back in 24 of the hours to talk about some more sci-fi right here on Paprika.